Oh, hello there. Yes, another week, another spot of rain or seven. Yes. Can't be such a thing as climate change. I mean, just look at it. Yeah, got a fleece on in August. Had to get the duvet out because it was nippy. Strange. Anyway, as promised, I bring you my golden rules of being a grifter, or my 5 rules of Grifterhood, if you fancy. And I thought, neatly taking us through the week, I'd take you through them one at a time, but I will do an overview for now. The first rule is I've got a Twitter feed and I'm going to use it, yes. And that's basically the way that grifters must always agree with other grifters. They must follow neatly into line. Number 2 is me, but not me. And that's those grifters that have that kind of minority thing going on. Being a woman, being gay, but at the same time not actually being very gay or very feminist, for example. Yeah. Number 3, the school of life. Oh, yes, indeed. Knowing nothing and insisting it's an absolute virtue. Number 4 is outraged, yes, and just being angry at, this is where the actual real grift comes in, being angry at any action that disrupts capitalism, no matter how important the subject, which is really what these people are employed for. Yes, they have to be angry at things that disrupt the status quo because that disrupts the wealth extraction. And lastly, but not leastly, the concept of gender ideology and others. This idea of repeating known lies but using the correct language and just keeping total untruths going. Anyway, for today, I thought we'd just start with number 1, just this notion of what everyone else is talking about. And you can see this in the sense that, in particular with like Talk TV and GBNews, the way that they will keep banging on about subjects that realistically no one gives a flying fart about. Okay? Meghan Markle. All the time, Meghan Markle, Harry, Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle, in any news cycle that they have, they will always have stories about Meghan Markle and Meghan Markle and Meghan Markle and and Harry, despite the fact that I do not believe that anyone in this country really cares. Yeah, it's just the cycle, and everyone else is saying it, so we have to keep on saying it and keep on retweeting it and just, keep on agreeing with this. And then when we go on, it's one of the things that we have to say. Yeah. Yes, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Or indeed, as it has been recently, the Nigel Farage banking scandal and the scandal of the banks. It was dreadful, and he's been cancelled. And his bank and his bank and his bank and his bank and Nigel and his bank and his bank and his bank. Oh, it's tiring. It's not that much of a story. Yes, I mean, at best it is a story because Nigel Farage is somebody, his own particular grift, if you like, but it's still not that important. Sorry, it just isn't. It isn't indicative, realistically, of anything. But leaving that aside, the example, which I've struggled, and I apologise for this, I have struggled to find details of this, but I remember when the story of Boris Johnson and the first party broke in what was to become Partygate, in the midst of COVID. And you can really see this kind of herd mentality with people in the sense that for about 2 days when that story broke, none of the usual suspects, your Sophie Corcorans and your Darren Grimes, knew what to say about it. And there was this uncanny quiet out there in the Twitter sphere amongst all the right-wing commentators because they didn't know what to say about this, because obviously they had to support Boris Johnson, have to support the ruling Tory leader, no matter who they are, how bad they are. You can slag them off afterwards, but not at the time. Yeah? And they just didn't know what to say. And as I recall, the person that broke the mould and led the troops through this minefield was Toby Young, who suddenly came up with a very bright idea of, well, the rules are stupid anyway, which is something that you'll now hear repeated ad infinitum by people. It's, yes, he broke the law, but the law was stupid, so it can be broken. This doesn't apply to Just Stop Oil protesters or Greenpeace, by the way, but only to Boris Johnson and his ilk. Yeah? And yes, as I say, if I can find distinct photographic evidence of this, I will bring it to you later in the week. But it really was astounding that there was this sudden, shocked silence that nobody quite knew what to say, because it was patently obvious that there was going to be a problem with it. And thanks God for Toby Young, Lord Young's boy, who saved them all, in particular, as I recall, Darren Grimes. Anyway, enough of that. I will bring you number 2 tomorrow. Do have a lovely, I don't know, umbrella day, whatever it's going to do out there. Enjoy.